and welcome to this psychic reading called What is Your Bullshit? I am your host and reader, Saru, and I decided to do this because I was gonna go to a party, but the party ended before I knew about it, so I had to do something else fun. So I chose to do this. Okay, so we have these two candles right here. This is purple. I don't know if you can see it. It's purple. And this one is blue. And these are candles with the intention for you to see through your bullshit. Okay? And then I'm going to get some incense, and I'm going to light some incense for us too. Ooh. Okay. I just need a little thingy. Okay, so the incense we're gonna light today is dragon's blood, and I'm just gonna light it right here. My cat has been trying to get near my candles, which I don't really like. So, maybe she'll make an appearance, who knows. And also, I was really hungry, and I don't have bagels, but I have cream cheese. So I ate some cream cheese on bread. And if you think that's sad, let me know in the comment section. Hi, baby. Okay, so just before we start, this reading is for people who, this is not for the faint of heart, okay? Like, I am not gonna hold back. I'm gonna tell it like it is. I'm gonna be honest and truthful, but also it is my intention, as always, that this reading is in the highest good for all involved, that all the messages come through the heart, and that they are, healing portals for your soul, okay? And that they're balanced through the black and the white sun and through all the chakras, and they go through the heart, and that they're in the fifth dimension, right? So mote it be. With that being said, I'm already feeling all of your energy, people who are watching my video. And I feel like y'all are kind of scared and apprehensive about what I have to say. So should I be? Is this what this is? Is there a lot of bullshit for me to suss out? For us to suss out, huh? Is that why you're scared? Guess we'll see, right? Guess we'll see. But just know that there's no shame here, and the candles agree, okay? Purple is the color of transmuting shame, at least in my mythology, and there is no shame here, okay? I have seen all the bullshit inside of myself, outside of myself. I don't think that there is really anything that phases me. So at this point in my life, like, if you know, you know, right? So anyway, let's do the piles. Pile 1 is here, let me try to show you. This smoky quartz spear. Okay. I gotta get my cat some flea medicine. Pile 2 is this lovely tourmaline chunk. Yes. Ooh. And then pile 3 is this tourmaline chunk with a bit of white in it. It's like a little snowflake. Do you see that? I like it. It's good. Okay. Alright, here we go. Hi, pile 1. Hello. Welcome to your reading. Welcome to your bullshit reading, where we suss out your bullshit. Okay, let's do this. I ask that the messages come forward in the highest good for all involved. I ask that they are clear and concise, and that they are healing portals for your soul. That they are protected in the name of Archangel Michael. So mote it be. All right, let's see what's up. My cat is a little bit, she knows that there's something going on and I can feel it. She's like, what is up? She's staring at some things. You guys, wow. Okay. Are some of you guys hoarders? Like, emotionally or mentally or maybe even physically? Do you hold on to things? Okay. Let's see what's up. Ah! I don't know why I screamed. Okay. Yeah. So the first thing that I feel is like, it's like you can't breathe. It's like there's constriction in the throat, in the throat. Like tuning into your energy. Like I'm having trouble taking deep breaths. So to me, I think your bullshit is like an inability to receive. Like, I just... Okay, I just got a really funny vision. Okay, so... It's actually really sad. Damn. Okay, pile one. Are you ready? So we have the three of cups right here, and we got this guy doing his thing with the wands, and we got the upside down magician, and we got the upside down knight of cups, and we got the king of pentacles crossed with the 10 of pentacles. What I am sensing is you're like the kind of person who's like running around with all these people over here. You're with all your friends, and you guys are just hanging out, and you're like with all these motherfuckers doing all these things, and it's like cool, but deep down you're actually like emotionally distant and you're not open, and you're like ha 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 ha, yeah 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 yeah, and you're like doing all these things, but you're actually like really closed off and kind of stalling yourself from what you really need to do. And it's like partying for the sake of partying, but like it's almost like avoidance, and it's not actually partying for like the joy of expressing existence and the fun of that. It's like going to really bad like trap parties and staring at the wall and like smoking way too much like, I don't know, dabs or vapes or weed or blunts or whatever, and it's like to the point where you're like permeating your lungs and like coughing it out and just like talking about like, I don't know if this is the right vibe, but like I have heard of this genre of music called math rock, and it's like ridiculous like jazzy rock music, but it doesn't make any sense, and it's like going to like those kind of shows that are like that, but there's no like soul to it. It's just like jazz music. It's like you're fucking for the sake of fucking, you're playing for the sake of playing, but you're not actually doing it with your heart. You're doing it with your legs, and you're like, whatever, I'm just gonna keep going, and that's your bullshit. That's your bullshit. You are like disconnecting from yourself through like shallow interactions with people, and it's like you're not in touch with your soul. Like it's almost like you're losing your soul through that. That's so fucking crass. I'm sorry if that was mean. I don't know if that's mean. With the magician upside down, I feel like this is a really deep underpinning. It's like you know all this, and deep down this is the key. The magician is like the creative force of the psyche. When it's upside down, it's a sign that we are not acknowledging our creative potential, and we're not giving ourselves permission to be our full creative self. And when I see this as your soul deep down being like, I know that I'm avoiding myself. I know that I'm avoiding the things that I have to do. What do you have to do? Pile number one, what do you have to do? I think you have to face your feelings. I think that you have to really drop in and ask yourself, how am I really feeling? What am I running from? Why do I need to go so fast? Right? These are kind of rhetorical questions. I feel like some of you already know. I feel like I should have done my makeup a little bit darker because the lighting doesn't get it. That's not the point. Sorry. Yeah, with the Hermit upside down, you're not giving yourself the solitude that you need to be a gentle human. I feel like there's something very void. It's the irony is that you're in so many human interactions all the time. It's almost like when people have like mindless sex, like they're just having sex, but it's like almost like it's like an act, you know? It's not really connection. It's like you're having all of these like interactions with people, whether they be sexual or just like friends hanging out, but you're doing it from this place of like complete apathy. Like it almost feels like, when I would imagine it would feel like to, it's like you're navigating social realms from the place of a sociopath. Like I don't think you're a sociopath or anything, but it's like the vibe of like complete numbness and apathy. But on the outside, it's like, hi, how are you? How's it going? Let's go. Let's do this thing. Let's do this thing. Let's do this thing. And it's like, why are you doing that? Like, why are you being inauthentic with your social interactions? This is what this card is saying to me. It's saying, hey, this isn't good for you right now. These social interactions, you need to be by yourself, and you're avoiding that. Why are you avoiding yourself? That's your bullshit. That's your bullshit, pile one. You avoid yourself. You avoid yourself with a capital S. And this is really interesting, but I'm feeling guided to do a little bit of divination through books. So I'm gonna go grab a book of symbols that I really enjoy. So just hang tight for 1 second. Okay. We're grabbing all the books today, apparently. Okay, I have some books. Apparently, the one that I'm supposed to read to you is Be Here Now. I don't know if you like Ram Dass, but he's really good. I'm supposed to turn to page 66. Is there page numbers? No. This is the page that I turned to, so I'm going to read it. Wow, that's great. But what about food? Now in the West, we have a thing. You see the Norman Rockwell cover. Thanksgiving Day. What the fuck? There's the turkey, and everybody has his eyes closed, saying grace. And the kid's hand is already on the turkey. Okay, let's say grace. Eat quick. So, this is what I'm saying. So, in India, I was taught this thing to say to consecrate the food, and it was very funny. I have been taught it, but I still had this old orality business. So I would say it, but I could not think it, and I could not stop long enough to experience it. At last, I had to confront myself and see where I wasn't. You've got to go at the rate you can go. You will wake at the rate you wake up. You wake up at the rate you wake up. You're finished with your desires at the rate you finish with your desires. This is deep. You can't rip the skin off the snake. The snake must molt the skin. That's the rate it happens. I don't know what this word is. It's like the something. comes into harmony at the rate it comes into harmony. The disequilibrium comes into harmony at the rate it comes into harmony. So your soul is aware, like you're kind of like a trickster, like you're like a kind of a crazy motherfucker, and that's cool. Like there's nothing wrong with being a crazy motherfucker, and there's nothing wrong with being a sociopath or being kind of antisocial or being aloof or being kind of unemotional. There's nothing wrong with that, and I feel like I just had to say that. There's no shame here. I'm not trying to shame you. Hope you know that, pile one. I think you're fine. You're cool. And what this is saying, at least what I'm interpreting it of, what I'm getting from it, is that there's this course of action that you're supposed to take. And this might have to run its course. Like, everything in due time. I feel like this just explains it better than I can, you know? You've got to go at the rate you can go. You wake up at the rate you wake up. You're finished with your desires at the rate you're finished with your desires. To me, this is like, you're going to stop doing this when you're ready to stop doing this. You're going to start to live out of your integrity when you're ready. It's almost like an ego death that has to run its course. You can't rip the skin off the snake. The snake must molt the skin. That's how, at the rate that it happens. So you are going through a process of transforming, and you're going through this process, and I feel like your spiritual guides are saying, like, LOL, like, you know, like, you're just gonna do what you're gonna do, you know? And they know they can't stop you. They know no one can stop you because you're on your trajectory and you're on your track of bullshit. Whether it's, you know, it is what it is. It might not even be bad. It might just be mindlessness. But ultimately, when you're ready for that to be over, it will be over. And it feels like it's not over yet. It feels like you have things to learn. And maybe you just came to this reading for that awareness that you are in this process right now of indulgence. And maybe perhaps it's not super healthy, you know, but you're in it and you're doing it and you're supposed to get it done. You're supposed to do it, you know, you're supposed to indulge in it until it's time to not. That's what I'm perceiving. Are you good? Do you have any questions? Anything else you want to know? You are the snake. Like you do have the ability to shed your skin and change. This is not all that you are. You are not just this persona that you show to people. You are also a soul. You're a human being, and you have a lot of sides of you. And if you can learn to love each side of you, even the parts of you that might be violent, like underneath all of that is your soul essence. And at some point, like, this is all gonna cycle end, and you're gonna shed your skin, and you're going to become a new person. So, at the rate that's right for you, okay? At the right rate. Yeah. Don't do drugs, LOL. Okay. That is pile number 1. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you have fun with your spiraling. And I wish you well. Thank you for tuning into this reading. Really grateful that you're here. Namaste. Alright, pile number 2. We got this black tourmaline right here. Okay? Black tourmaline chunk. Chunky monkey. Chunky. I don't know why I'm saying that. This is pile 2. And yeah. You're very different, pile 2, from pile 1. I feel like you are full of, like, desire. You're full of desire? Wow. Interesting. Damn. I just feel a lot of things right now. That's all. Okay, I'm going to shuffle the cards a little bit. Oh, you're really ungrounded too. Ground yourself. Ground yourself. I'm going to ask the angels right now for all of us to just repair our grounding cords and plug them in to the crystalline center of the earth. Just imagine your grounding cord going into a nice big crystal. Doesn't have to make sense, just do it. Just do it. Imagine a root going out of your sacral chakra, your tailbone, and wrapping around a big crystal in the middle of earth. Or just going into the ground. Some of you are mad at me about this. I'm sorry. I just want you to ground yourself. Okay. Are you ready to see your bullshit? Archangel Michael, Lords of Karma. I ask that these messages come through in the highest good for all involved. I ask for them to be clear and concise. I ask that they are balanced between the black sun and the white sun, and they come through the heart, and they're healing portals of wisdom for your soul. Some of you are judgmental. Because you're like, who are you? What are you doing? It's like, I don't know, dude. I'm just doing readings. Like, what do you do? My cat is looking at a ghost. Okay. Okay, pile 2. I feel like you guys are in some low-key, like, smelly-ass energy. No shade or shame. No bad vibes. Just saying what I see. I feel like you guys have a lot of resentment that you might be holding on to. Ow! Y'all are heartbroken. Sorry. I'm a very expressive person. This is the card of heartbreak. You? Aw, pile 2, I am so sorry. Poor baby. Damn. Okay. I'm like overwhelmed with emotion right now. I almost want to cry. Glad I have water. Oh. I'm so smart with my water. That's what it is. That's what it is. You're like, I'm so smart with my water. I know how to handle my emotions. I'm smart with my emotions. Yeah, I could do it. But like deep down, like that's your bullshit. Like you're not aware of how deeply you're feeling right now. Like you're fucking heartbroken. You're experiencing emotional tumultuousness. Look at this guy. He is like in bed. All the sores are above his head, and he's like, God, that's so sad. This is like almost the completion of like some heavy shit that you're going through. Wow. And then with the Emperor upside down, I don't know, to me this is control. The Magician upside down. This is like a lack of accountability for your ability to change. Okay? I feel like you have been deeply, deeply wronged by somebody. And I feel like it's like to the point where you can't even stomach it. And like you're like choking on your own pain. I don't even know how to explain it. And it feels like instead of like owning up to the situation and owning up to yourself and owning up to what is going on, you're like sitting in resentment, but you're also in this like state of denial where you're like, it's fine. I know how to handle my feelings, but you're actually like stone cold. You're like in stone cold bitch mode, and you like do not know how to handle your feelings because you're not handling your feelings, and you're letting these feelings like fester and fester and fester, and it's causing you like probably like I don't know. I'm getting a feeling that it might be causing some of you physical pain and illness. I'm seeing some women like I don't know, women in like the middle America, like I don't know. I'm from California. I don't really know states very well, but it's like Utah, Minnesota, Rhode Island, Texas, Connecticut, Tennessee. I'm getting the vibes of like women who are like you've been married to an alcoholic for 20 years, or someone died and you haven't grieved it. This is the energy of like deeply long held resentment or pain. Um, and it's almost like you're like, I go on. I go on. And it's like, I go on. You know, there's like this like underlying like, you might not even understand this. You might be so accustomed to living in this resentment that you don't even feel it anymore. But if you have back pain, or if you have shoulder pain, or if you have like chest pain, sometimes people even hold this pain in their thighs or their hips. If you have sciatica, like these are all indications of like deeply held resentment. I feel like saying this, I feel like somebody might need to hear this. If you are being abused, if anybody has been like systematically manipulating you, if you're in like a cold case love kind of situation where you are not well, like your partner is not well and you're not well and they haven't changed, but you're betting on that and it feels like you're at a dead end, like if you need a sign, like this is your sign to get the fuck out, okay? This is your sign. Do you understand? And if you need to get out, like you can get out. The trap that you're in with yourself is your own disbelief in yourself. It's like you don't believe that you can change. You don't believe that you can change. And if it's not an extreme abusive situation or it's not something that you feel like you have to get out, but if it's a relationship that does feel like a dead end or it needs to change, like it just might need to change, this is your sign, you know, that maybe you're a lot more unhappy than you tell yourself. And, you know, maybe you've been trying to make it work for a long time, but like deep down, like you feel like really angry and resentful and like you're lying to yourself about that. And you're telling yourself that you are fine and that you deserve less and that it's okay because at least someone loves you. Wow. Y'all are really mad. I don't know where all this anger is coming from. And like maybe your mom didn't love you. And so like at least this person loves you. But like, I feel like saying this, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And when I hold this crystal, y'all are so open and receptive and deeply, deeply, deeply desiring love. I think that your bullshit is how deeply you desire love and desire connection and how deeply you want things to be great. And the fact that like you're so heartbroken and your heart is hurting so much that you don't even know that. Like you're pretending that you don't want what you want. That's your bullshit, I think. And for some of you, this might actually be really, I feel like people might cringe at me when I say this. Might be easy. Maybe that's just coming from me, somebody who's really good at feeling their feelings to the point where I probably should be a little bit less intense. But what I'm seeing is like there's this like hollowness and this sort of apathetic, like cold layer to your feelings. But the moment you drop in and really cry it out and feel it, like things are going to shift in your life so much quicker than if you continue in this cycle. The moon is a really good card to get for this pile. I feel like it really means that like you totally have the ability to shift if you pay attention to your inner world and you pay attention to your dreams. And if you go into that silent place with yourself where you can really feel and you can really just receive this like sort of stillness, like that's your sense of grace. I feel like some of you really enjoy the word grace. And when you do that, you're going to be the chariot. You're going to be able to move forward into your life and into your full expression. I feel like I need to pull one more card for you too. You have to change course. There's something that you have to change in your life. It's good, you know, whether it's a relationship or something big or something small, like whatever it is, like you'll know, and you have to change. So I think that's all I have for you, pile 2. um, I just got a vision of like pretty flowers like in the grass. When you allow yourself to feel this resentment and move through it and move through the heartbreak and get to the other side, like you're gonna feel so free. And there's a really important piece here too in knowing that, um, if people have hurt you and have really disrespected you, that has absolutely nothing to do with your worth as a human. And that's the moment you really know that that's your key out of this sort of resentful place. Because the resentment might even come from like on an unconscious level, like blaming yourself or feeling like you are at fault or that in some way you deserved it. And so you're angry because how could someone be such an asshole? You know what I mean? But if you realize that it's not actually even about you, it's about them and their own bullshit that they have with themselves. Like, if you're like, oh, they're just on some bullshit with themselves, then you don't even have to feel this resentment. You don't even have to take this on. And if I could give you anything, like, it's my intention that this energy that I'm channeling, like, I hope that you feel relief and that you feel the potential for you to have relief from this situation. Because you can. Yeah. Good. I got this card too. It means that everything's going to work out in time. Just might take a little bit. And then I got this card. It just means like, I don't know. To me, this is like being able to sit with negative thoughts, but not like take them on and not believe them, you know? All right. Now for some psychic reading. I'm supposed to read this one, The Book of Nothingness. This is like the seed of nothingness. This is one of my favorite books in the whole world. It changed my life. It's like probably kind of low key. I don't think a lot of people know about it, but it's really good. So I'm supposed to read page 47, paragraph 2. 47. Oh, 45. Well, there's no 40s 46. Paragraph 2. Okay, give me another one, Spirit. 55. 55. Which? This one. Okay, how funny. Politicians fight each other on television to prove who is better. Better for what? Not for the people, but who has a better ego? Who makes the promise of better lives, protection, etc.? But isn't it an individual's own responsibility to determine what is better, living in fear or living in bliss? You pay taxes, you give money and donations, and after paying, you still follow someone else's rules. It does not matter whether you like the elected official or not. This is utter madness. I am not saying what is right or what is wrong. Who am I to judge? All of this is just an illusion. What I really want to express is that the fear is not real. How can you find love within yourself if fear is there? This is where the fear begins, from the very beginning of life. So we start adjusting in middle age. When we get jobs or go to work, we start making money. We pay back the debts we owe to banks or parents or friends. Then, once the debt seems to be over, we get a house, then a spouse, then a child, and go on and on. This is what we are taught life is all about. This is the circle of life. Or is it? Life is meaningless without love, and love is a feeling of sharing. It cannot be bought or achieved. It can only be shared. If one does not have love for self, how can one share? You may say, I love myself and I like to take care of myself. I wear the best cosmetics and eat in good restaurants, and people like me. I wear the best fabrics, therefore I love myself. But my question to you is, do you really want to do this? Love has nothing to do with outward projections. How you take care of yourself or how you look is something you do so others can accept you. You follow the trend or fashion. You do things to be accepted in society. That has nothing to do with love within. True love is in accepting yourself as you are, not on the surface, but deep inside as you are. True love is the ultimate feeling of self-expression. expressing yourself as who you really are, dropping the pressure of society and other people's expectations of who you should be. Then you feel love within for the self. I think I have to read another one. Yes. The fear will appear that society will not accept you as you are. They will say you are crazy. Then go on and live in superficial mad world that is already crazy. All the anger, frustration, and war are byproducts of humanity not being able to express itself honestly. All beings want to be accepted by others for who they are. Everyone wants to be loved and accepted, and all the rejections and relationship failures happen as you project illusion and make projections of illusions of your partner. Drop it. You cannot act your whole life. The day when the curtain of illusion falls, all the projections which you were acting and all the expectations from the partner come to meet the truth that all was in the mind, and the relationship fails. No being can love another unless they love themselves for who they really are. The first step is to find the inner child and accept it as the child is. Okay, that's interesting. So it seems like you are just learning how to love all these parts of you that do feel resentment, that do feel this anger. If you can love and accept and honor all these inner parts of you, then it'll be easier for you to move on, and to heal. I really can't say it better myself. Like, fear is an illusion, and if you allow yourself to know that and to move through this illusion of fear and letting go of these projections, you might want to listen to it again too, because there's a lot of really deep meanings in there. Just giving yourself that permission to know that when you're really angry, you might not be seeing things clearly, which isn't to say that you shouldn't leave a situation that is bad for you. You definitely should. But it's to say that for you to empower yourself is to be honest with yourself about how you feel and loving the parts of you that don't feel good. And in that, you can walk away. But the reason why you're staying and the reason why you're staying stuck is because you're rejecting how your inner child is feeling. But if you accept how your inner child is feeling, then you can heal. I think that's what I have for you, pile number 2. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I know that you still feel some pain. I was never here to save you from your pain or to make it go away. My intention for this reading has always been just to show you your bullshit and to show you what you need to do to heal, which I did, and which has been shown. So, ultimately, when we get psychic work, we have the opportunity to take it or leave it. So do what you will. Whatever, you can take this information on. You also don't have to. Regardless, really glad you're here. And namaste. All right, pile 3. Here it is. Welcome to your bullshit. It is my intention that this reading is protected in the name of Archangel Michael, and that it is traveling through my heart, that it is in the highest good, that it is healing portals of your soul in all time. Okay. If you are this pile, you chose this lovely, lovely crystal right here. Wow. I feel like you're really scared, deeply afraid. And this level of terror is really innately deep. My finger is like this. It's like you're waiting for something. Okay. Energy really shifted. Some of you might have health problems too. feel like some of you dissociate. I'm sensing like, whoa. Damn. Okay. Very different energy here. Very, very different energy. Oh. So, okay, there's a lot going on here, you know? Oh, wow. I just feel really jumbled right now. So I guess y'all might be really jumbled up. There might be a lot of, like, confusion in your life, and there's, like, a lot more cards. I feel like you're the kind of person where you're, like, spacey, and you're like, God, this is too much to handle. Like, there's so much going on. And there's a feeling of sensitivity, and there's a lot of tumultuousness. Of course you would pick this reading. There's some really interesting things going on. Okay. Wow. Well, pile 3. I don't know how to say this kindly, so I'm just gonna say it. Like, there's a lot of bullshit here, but it's not in a bad way. It's not like a bad thing. It's just, I don't even want you to feel bad. You might even be like very guilty. It's just that, like, this is a heavy energy. Like, there is a lot of like clutter. It's almost like your inner world that just, wow, I'm getting sleepy too. My brain just like feels weird. Oh, it's like you're like in like an office space of your own mind, but like, wow, I'm like, okay, ground me in. It's like your mind is like an office that has been dilapidated. And, wow, how do I even explain this? God, help me explain this. I don't know how to delineate this energy. What I'm feeling is like dissociation, ungroundedness, always trying to leave the body, and kind of not realizing that you are, it's like this sort of like, you're not victim to yourself, kind of. It's like you're not a victim, I guess. Like, maybe there's sort of this like feeling of feeling victimized. I don't think I'm saying this the right way, I'm sorry. Because if you are a victim, you know, you are. I think that there's this message here in trying to, it's like the way you process information is very different from the way a lot of people process information. So you might be neuroatypical. You might be on the autism spectrum. Wow, stuttering. You might have dissociative tendencies. And I feel like inside of you, it's very like, and you might also not, like, you might just be going on some stuff right now, but like, ultimately, like, what I'm seeing is just an accumulation of so much unprocessed emotional gunk, and you're such a slow processor that I think the best way that I can explain this is like your inner world being like an office building that has been like destroyed and dismantled, and there's like a whole bunch of random newspapers from the 80s like everywhere, and like in that same room there's like children's toys, and there's like a raccoon running around, and there's like a dying animal, and there's like a slide, and then all of a sudden it's like a library, but it's all contained in this room, and it's like there's an old man or an old woman in that room, or an old non-binary person, and they're like looking at each little paper really, really, really slowly, and they're like, oh yeah, I remember that. That was from back in the day when I was a little kid. And they're just like really, really slow about it. That's how I feel. It's like that's your bullshit. Like there's like all this like intense emotional trauma and things that you need to look at in yourself that you're not looking at, or that you're looking at really, really slowly. And there's like I heard discognition. Like there's not like a succinct system of processing with you. There's like a sort of like Aquarius kind of like, oh, it's school at 4 a.m. kind of like process where you're like, what the fuck? I guess I'm going here now. I guess I'm going this part of my psyche. But it's not fast. It's like, I guess I'm going here now. It's like a weird like situation. I feel like inside of you, it's like you don't always know what's inside of you. It's like a sort of a movie. There's so many different pieces of you that are coming together and going apart. You know, sometimes you're in this beautiful starland, and sometimes you're in this, oh, I don't know what's happening. I kind of have ideas, but I don't really know where they went land. And then you're like, I gotta focus. And then you're like, fuck! And then you're like, oh my god, I have to make more money. And then you're like, wait, no, I don't. This is really sad. You know, there's like so many little pieces of you floating around, and you just watch all of them, and you're like, oh, I want to make more money. Oh, I'm sad. Oh, I'm fucked. Oh, I'm not fucked. Oh, I guess it's 5 o'clock already. Jeez. Maybe I should go to sleep. It's like this weird vibe. No offense. No offense. I'm not trying to say that you're weird or that your vibe's weird. Okay. This one is interesting. This is the King of Pentacles upside down. To me, this is a sign that like there's something sucking your energy away. There might be a part of you that you have disowned in your shadow self that is kind of running the show. Or you might be sitting on your pain and it's slowly eating you alive. Damn, it's deep. Wow. So, you know, for some of you, like, if you really do have a lot of stuff going on, like, maybe see a mental health professional. I'm not a mental health professional, of course, just a random person on the internet, but, you know, I feel like it might be really helpful, especially if you're a Taurus moon. Taurus moons, Scorpio moons, Capricorn moons. If you have a fixed moon sign, this is very typical for people with fixed moon signs. People with fixed moon signs can be on some bullshit for a very long time. No offense, you guys. If you have a moon sign that is fixed, you are a stubborn person. Or you have the potential to be a stubborn motherfucker. And you sometimes just, like, sit on your feelings, but don't actually feel. That is a recipe for illness and eventual disaster. Sorry, I'm not saying that you're fucked. I know I'm reading you. I don't read timelines. But I am saying, I mean, I do read timelines. I just don't make predictive readings. I don't really do that. That's not where my psychic functioning goes. So don't take that as though I'm telling you, like, you're fucked. Because you're not. You're not fucked at all. As a matter of fact, I think you're doing really well. You don't seem to be struggling. You just clicked on a reading called What's Your Bullshit? And so here I am, just telling you what your bullshit is, right? But ultimately, I see you functioning pretty high functioning with this. But it seems like sometimes you are like, I'm so high functioning that does anyone even know that there's something wrong with me? Which is a sad place to be. Which is why you have to talk to someone and be like, hey. Because over time, this could really hurt you. Having this disordered way of processing, if it's not addressed in a way where you can learn how to cope with it effectively, or if you need to, if it's more of a trauma thing, and if you need healing, like learn how to integrate yourself effectively. Either way, it's like this card is like the most intense omen that I can get of dark vibes. So, and I'm not trying to scare you, like, at all. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not cursed or anything. Like, don't even go there with yourself or with me. Because I feel like some of you are really superstitious and you're like, oh my god, a tarot reader is like, this is a bad omen. Like, I am not some, like, owl in the tree going, ooh, bad omen. Like, I'm not like that. Like, I'm literally a human being reading tarot, and I read the cards through my own interpretations of them, and I just happen to interpret this card as, like, really intense bad vibes. But it doesn't mean that it means you're fucked. I'm just feeling that, like, there's something that you're hiding from yourself. I feel like that there is something really dark that your body knows about that is the root of, like, all of this weird dissociative, like, ways of thinking. And if you can face that in yourself, then you'll stop functioning in a way that is so, like, cerebral. You'll get to a point where you fucking know, and where everything's, like, really clear. That's not gonna happen until you figure out what the root cause of this is, which is not really probably gonna happen until you talk with a medical professional, a licensed therapist or counselor or social worker, somebody who you trust, who you feel safe with, and who also is able to help you kind of delineate your own emotions. It's really important for you to be able to talk about what you're feeling. Feelings wheels are really good. Yeah, I feel like understanding your psychology is really, really called for here, and that seems to be what's going to empower you the most. You don't need to hide things from people. You don't need to hide anything from yourself either. Just know that, like, you're loved. Even if you don't feel loved, you are loved. And I don't know. Maybe some of you sleep a lot too. Or maybe it's just late. I'm getting tired. Oh, it's 1 in the morning. Well, that's why I'm getting tired. What page am I supposed to read for these people? Okay. I'm gonna read you a book from Inside Degrees. It's astrology poems for every degree of the zodiac. I'm gonna read Pisces 12. A woman asleep in flames. A woman asleep in a ring of flames. Drama, color, sound, magnitude, and shakings. You dreamed through it all in an enchantment, which simultaneously projects and stifles, an ancestral power of suspended life force held away, while great events surround and envelope you, yet do not penetrate. You experience a most unusual soul disposition of deep sleep in the teeth of collective and ancestral events and experiences, which are huge and never-ending. Is it grace or a curse? It can be either. It becomes a grace if you awaken in the right timing and move on from here. It can be a curse if you stay down under too long and miss the cue to stir and look around and discover the future has dawned and the old ways have fallen away. Sleep or awake. So, yeah, wake up. Wake up from this illusionary way that you are carrying your psyche and yourself. Know that your life has changed. You don't need to stay in that perception anymore. You don't have to stay in that way of being. You don't have to stay in a state where you're neither here nor there. You can wake up. You can wake up. Whatever that means for you. Okay? Okay. Cool. Thank you, Pile 3, for being here, and thank you for allowing me to be your lovely channel today. It's very fun. Had a good time. And I wish you well. Namaste.